So, people, the great communicators. Okay, so let us read. We can communicate with other people in many different ways. We can talk and write, and we can send messages with our hands and faces. There is also the phone, including the mobile, the fax, and email. Television, film, painting, and photography can also communicate ideas. Animals have ways of exchanging information too. Bees dance and tell other bees where to find food. Elephants make sounds that humans can't hear. Whales sing songs. Monkeys use their faces to show anger and love. But this is nothing compared to what people can do. We have language, about 6,000 languages, in fact. We can write poetry, tell jokes, make promises, explain, persuade, tell the truth, or tell lies. And we have a sense of past and future, not just present. Communication technologies were very important in the development of all the great ancient societies. Around 2900 BC, paper and hieroglyphics transformed Egyptian life. Ancient Greeks loved the spoken word. They were very good at public speaking, drama, and philosophy. The Romans developed a unique system of government that depended on the Roman alphabet. In the 14th century, the printing press helped develop new ways of thinking across Europe. Radio, film, and television have had a huge influence on society in the last 100 years. And now we have the internet, which is infinite. But what is this doing to us? We can give and get a lot of information very quickly, but there is so much information that it is difficult to know what is important and what is not, and what isn't. Modern media is changing our world every minute of every day. Now, can any student explain to me what does he or she learn from this passage? هل أكو طالب أو طالبة يقدر يشرح لي مثلا الفكرة اللي أخذها من خلال هاي القطعة؟ Can you please raise your hands؟ ارفعوا ايديكم رجاء اللي عنده فكرة يريد يقولها. No idea? No idea? Do you hear me?
على عيدة.
أعيد قراءة القطعة؟
أي نعم.
Okay. People, the great communicators. We can communicate with other people in many different ways. We can talk and write, and we can send messages with our hands and faces. There is also the phone, including the mobile, the fax, and email. Television, film, painting, and photography can also communicate ideas. Animals have ways of exchanging information too. Bees dance to tell bees dance to tell other bees where to find food. Elephants make sounds that humans can't hear. Whales sing songs. Monkeys use their faces to show anger and love. But this is nothing compared to what people can do. We have language, about 6,000 languages, in fact. We can write poetry, tell jokes, make promises, explain, persuade, tell the truth, or tell lies. And we have a sense of past and future, not just present. Communication technologies were very important in the development of all the great ancient societies. Around 2900 BC, paper and hieroglyphics transformed Egyptian life. The ancient Greeks loved the spoken word. They were very good at public speaking, drama, and philosophy. The Romans developed a unique system of government that depended on the Roman alphabet. In the 14th century, the printing press helped develop new ways of thinking across Europe. Radio, film, and television have had a huge influence on society in the last 100 years. And now we have the internet, which is infinite. But what is this doing to us? We can give and get a lot of information very quickly, but there is so much information that it is difficult to know what is important and what isn't. Modern media is changing our world every minute of every day. So again, can any one of you
نعم
tell
لأنه
me what
الدكتور
wait for a minute. Raise your hand,
السلام
ارفع ايدك,
عشان فايدة أستاذ
and then
أستاذ يتكلم
you
عن
can participate. رأفت, لحظة. Raise your hand, ارفع ايدك حتى يكون درس systematic مرتب
بعدين
حتى نعرف من اللي مشارك ويتسجل عندنا. Okay, now رأفت, go ahead, tell me.
نتكلم عن التواصل، طريقة التواصل نحن البشر we can communicate نتواصل with other people في طرق مختلفة. we can talk نتحدث ونستطيع أن نكتب، أن نرسل رسائل مسج with our hand بيد أيدينا our face في وجوهنا. there is also phone الموبايل يعني الفاكس والإيميل والتلفزيون التلفزيون الفيلم وهكذا.
رأفت,
أنيميل
can you explain it in English?
He talk about the communication and how communication with other people and how animals communication with other animals. Like ايش اسمه shown in the books. The elephants can make a sound we can hear to communicate with the other elephants. The monkey can communicate with make move with the face and other things. But as the human, us, we can.
So what is the difference between us, the humans, and these animals in communication?
The animals cannot talk. we can start and we have language about 6,000 language in fact.
So you say that the difference is that we as human beings have language, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Rafat, for your participation. Who else wants to participate and tell us their ideas about this passage? منو بعد يريد يشارك يقول لنا what did he or she learn from this passage? إشجاع عبد زيدان.
نعم أستاذ. أستاذ بالنسبة للقطعة talk about communicator between the people and between the animal. He said between the people يعني people can communicate by talking and with hand or face and he with the phones, mobile, fax or email, and talk about animals and how they're يعني talking أو communicator. He talk about the monkey and communicator between يعني المهم ماذا أقرأ. أستاذ بس شوي كبرها حتى نقدر نقرأ اللي ما عندي ملزمة صراحة. تمام.
Okay.
Animals and how communicator.
The idea is that I want you to try to use your own words to explain what did you learn from this. الفكرة أنه أريدك أنت تحاول تستخدم كلماتك حتى تشرح لي تعطيني فكرة عن الأشياء اللي تعلمتها مثلا أو اللي حكينا عليها هسه حاليا.
Okay.
Try to use your own words. Do not read.
نعم. يقول people communicate with other people by the talking and by handing or by face and in the facts or other تطبيقات الأخرى يعني.
Okay, so the idea is that we as human beings can communicate with each other in a different way than animals, right?
Right.
So the difference, so you agree with your colleague Rafat in saying that we as human beings are different in having a language. I mean, this is the difference between our communication and the other animals' communication.
Between the communication فقط لو يعني احنا والانيمالز. اذا بس بالكوميونيكيشن فاحنا الكوميونيكيشن معنا اكثر تطورا منهم من ناحيه الكلام و يعني
شجاع. Now we have an English lesson, right? So try to speak English. I mean, this is for you, for your own benefit. I want you to practice speaking and listening to English.
Okay.
هذا من أجلكم أنتم. يعني هذا الدرس خاصة هاك الدرس راح يكون بينه تفاعل. أريدكم تقرون، تشاركون، تفكرون، تحكون بالإنجليزي. It's okay to make mistakes. Nobody is always, speaks correctly all the time. We all make mistakes. So it's okay to make mistakes. ما يخالف إنه تغلطون بعض الأمور إذا كانت الكلمات ما تذكروها. It's okay. المهم إنه أريدكم تشاركون، تحاولون تقرون، أو حاليا قبل ما نصل لمرحلة القراءة تحاولون تحكون أنتم اللي ببالكم تعطونا أفكاركم لكن باللغة الإنجليزية.
The difference between us and animals, we talk between the فقط talking يعني أو بعض communicate. We talk and the animals have a different أيضا way to communicate with يعني مع بعضها.
With each other, yes. Thank you so much, Ja. Thank you so much. So, who else wants to participate? بعد يشاركنا and tell us about their ideas of communication and how people communicate and the difference between animals and human beings. منو يشارك بعد؟ So can you give me other types of communication? ممكن تعطوني أنواع أخرى من التواصل بين الناس؟ رأفت؟
أستاذ لايت.
You mean writing?
لايتنج أستاذ. low.
Light, yes. So how? Tell me how.
signal. والثي أني لايت with شو اسمه with long distance
Yeah,
like shape
like what?
shape سفن.
Yeah, like you mean that we use light sometimes to
And,
communicate with ships and the sea, for
with
example.
light and see that when in the airport and when the plane full شو اسمه تحط أستاذ شو ما أعرف الكلمة lay down. لا تزود
Lay down.
لا قصدي طائرة وانت تحط.
And what do we call it? What do we call it? Land, right?
land. إيه أستاذ land in the ground.
Okay, so what is the communication with the landing airplane, for example? ايش طريقة التواصل مع الطائرة اللي تهبط؟
with light.
With light? Yeah, maybe with light. And what?
with communication when technology telephone.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Rafat. Who else wants to tell us about other means of communication? منو بعد يريد يحكي لنا على طرق أخرى للتواصل? You see, we have many ways of communication between us as a human beings. What about the other students? Are you sleeping? So since you are not participating now, I want students to read. أريد طلاب يقرون هاي الفقرات اللي فقرتين 3 4. So who can read? Again, بس رأفت اليوم. رأفت.
نعم سر.
Read the first paragraph. اقرأ الفقرة الأولى.
We can communicate with other people in many different ways. We can talk and write, and we can send message with our hand and face. There is also the phone included, the mobile, the fax and email, television, film, painting, and photography can also communicated idea.
Can also communicate ideas.
Ideas.
Yes, thank you, Rafat. Who can read the second paragraph? Abdulaziz.
نعم أستاذ.
Okay, try to read.
Animals have ways of exchanging information. To bees dance and tell other bees where to find food. Elephants make sounds that humans can't hear. Whales sing songs. Monkeys use their faces to show anger and love. But this is nothing compared to what people can do. We have language, about 6,000 languages. In fact, we can write poetry, tell jokes, make promises, explain, prosert, tell the truth, or tell lies. And we have sins of past and future, not just present.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. To you and to all the other students, بالنسبة لكم جميعا يا طلاب انتبهوا. When you read, try to pay attention to punctuation marks. Try always to pay attention to punctuation marks. دائما انتبهوا إلى علامات الترقيم. So for example here, ايش لازم نقرأ هذه؟ Animals have ways of exchanging information too. Have ways of exchanging information too. Then there is a full stop here. اكو بعد ال to اكو نقطة. معناها ايش لازم نعمل؟ لازم نقف. ما يصير نقول animals have ways of exchanging information. Two bees dance until. No. Now I want you to pay attention to the punctuation marks. Who else can read this paragraph, the second paragraph? منو بعد يقدر يقرأ الباراجراف الثاني؟ مصطفى خالد.
أقرأ أنا؟
مصطفى خالد رفع ايده.
أوكي.
Animals have of exchanging information too. Bees dance and tell other bees where to food. Elephants make sounds that humans can't hear. Whales sing songs. Monkeys use their faces to show anger and love. But this is nothing compared to what people can do. We have language, about 6,000 languages. In fact, we can write poetry, tell jokes, make promises, explain, precede, tell the truth, or tell lies. And we have a sense to past and future, not just present.
Thank you so much. So now let us check the other paragraph, the third one. Who can read the third paragraph? من يقدر يقرأ الفقرة الثالثة؟ الطالبة اللي قبل شوية سألتني. Where are you? بعد ما حد يشارك؟ اوكي، حنان غزوان.
Communication technologies were very important in the development of all the great ancient societies.
Societies.
Around 2,900 BC paper and hierology and
Hieroglyphics.
hieroglyphics transformed Egyptian life. The ancient Greeks loved the spoken word. They were very good at public speaking, drama, and philosophy. The Romans developed a unique system of government that depend on the Roman alphabet. In the 14th century, the printing press helped develop new ways of thinking across Europe.
Okay, thank you. Who else can read the third one? إشجاع.
Sir. Communication technologies were very important in the development of all the greater ancient societies. Around 900 BC, paper and hieroglyphics transformed Egyptian life. The ancient Greek loved the spoken word. They were very good at public speaking, drama, and philosophy. The Romans developed unique شلون تقرا هاي
unique
system of government that depend on the Roman alphabet. In the 14th century, the writing press helped develop a new way of thinking across Europe.
Okay, thank you so much. Now let us listen to Mu'min Abdullah.
Radio, film, and television have had a height influence of.
Now you are reading the other paragraph, right? The last one. Okay, go ahead. Read the last one as you wish.
ساديان سطر
أنت هسه تقرأ الفقرة الثالثة الأخيرة، تمام؟ إيه هذا اقرأ.
Radio, film, and television have had a height influence on security in the last 100 years, and now we have the internet, which is in fight. But what is doing to use? We can give and get a lot of information very quickly, but there is so much information that is difficult to know what is important. and what isn't. Modern meets is a changing our world every minute to every day.
Okay, thank you. Now let us listen to Ahmed Sabah.
نعم دكتور. Radio, film and television have had a strong influence on society in the last 100 years. And now we have the internet which influence, but what is this doing to use? We can give and get a lot of information very quickly, but there is so much information that it is difficult to know what is important and what is not. Modern made is changing our world every minute of every day.
Thank you so much. Now let me just read it by myself. خلي أقرأها بس أنا وحدي مرة لأنه شوي ببعض الكلمات تغلطون بها وبعدها راح نسمع
Okay.
آمنة ليث. Radio, film and television have had a huge influence on society in the last 100 years. And now we have the internet, which is infinite. But what is this doing to us? We can give and get a lot of information very quickly. But there is so much information that it is difficult to know what is important and what isn't. Modern media is changing our world every minute of every day. Now let us listen to Amina. Amina Laith. Last time Amina Laith. Okay, now let us listen to Ubaida Abdul Hamid.
Yes, doctor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like me to read the last one?
Yes.
Okay. Radio, film, and television have had a huge influence on society in the last 100 years, and now we have the internet, which is infinite. But what is this doing to us? Sorry. We can give and get a lot of information very quickly, but there is so much information that it's difficult to know what is important and what isn't. Modern media is changing our world every minute of every day.
Thank you. Now let us listen to Amina. She's ready now. No, she is not ready. So let us listen to Shayma.
Radio, film, and television have had a hunk of influence on society in the last 100 years, and now we have the internet, which is infinite. But what is the doing to use? We can give and get a lot of information very quickly, but there is so much information that it is difficult to know what is important and what isn't. Modern media is changing our world very minute to very minute of every day.
Okay, thank you so much. That's it. Now let us check the whole passage. You see, the first one, it speaks about what? The first paragraph, it speaks about our communication, we, the human beings. So now I'm going to review each paragraph and ask you about the meaning of certain words. راح نراجع الفقرات واحدة واحدة وبعدين راح أسألكم على بعض المعاني بعض الكلمات. So the first one speaks about our communication and how we, the human beings, communicate with each other. And we said that we have different ways of communication. You mentioned some of these communications, but I wish that you could mention more means of communication, but it's okay. So I think the first paragraph, you know about the meaning of all the words. Let us move to the second one. It speaks about how other creatures communicate with each other. So we have the word bees. What is meant by bees? ما معنى كلمة bee؟
نحل.
Okay, yes. bees يعني نحل. الجمع bee. يعني bees الجمع ونحلة هي bee. What is meant by humans?
ناس.
Yes. Yes. What is meant by whales?
حيتان.
Whales, W-H-A-L-E-S. The third line.
حيتان.
حيتان.
حيتان, yes. Whales. Okay, and you know what is meant by monkey? Some of you pronounce it anger. It is anger. What is meant by anger?
غضب.
Yes, so it's pronounced as anger, not anger. Anger, لازم تلفظوه anger. What is meant by promises?
وعود.
وعود.
What is meant by poetry?
شعر.
Yes, exactly. What is meant by persuade? Persuade.
إقناع.
Persuade here. This is a verb. حسب هذا الكونتكست هو فعل بمعنى يقنع. Because now we are saying that we can write poetry, tell jokes, make promises, explain, persuade, and tell the truth, or tell lies. So what is meant by the truth?
حقيقة.
حقيقة.
Yes. So the other one, the other paragraph, القطعة الأخرى, الفقرة الأخرى, it speaks about a history of communication. It gives us a glimpse of the history of communication. يعني تعطينا لمحة عن تاريخ التواصل البشري. So what is meant by ancient societies?
المجتمعات القديمة.
الحضارات
Yes,
القديمة.
exactly. So ancient, what's meant by ancient?
حضارة.
ancient قديم.
قديم.
societies اللي هي مجتمعات.
مجتمع.
society هو مجتمع. hieroglyphics اللي هي
الهيروغليفي. خط الهيروغليفي.
yes اللي هي الهيروغليفية. الرايتنج، الكتابة الهيروغليفية. transformed. What is meant by transformed?
الترجمة.
أنقول.
transformed
حولت.
yes حولت يعني غيرت الحياة Egyptian life، الحياة المصرية السابقة. Greeks, what is meant by Greeks?
يونان.
Yes. So sometimes you may hear ممكن أن تسمع the Greek civilization. إيش معناها؟
حضارة الإغريق.
الحضارة الإغريقية. تمام. The Greek civilization, because civilization means حضارة، معناها حضارة. And do you know what is meant by philosophy?
فلسفة.
One of the students couldn't pronounce it. Romans اللي هي
رومان.
Yes, Romans. What is meant by unique?
فريد من نوعهم.
Yes, exactly.
Unique system. نظام فريد من نوعه.
Unique system of government.
حكومة قبل.
نظام حكم فريد من نوعه. What is meant by alphabet?
الحروف الأبجدية.
Okay, what about the other students? بالنسبة لبقية الطلبة اللي ساكتين. What is meant by printing? So easy. Printing, not painting. Printing press.
طباعة يعني يمكن.
Printing الطباعة. تمام. So
طباعة الصحيفة.
طباعة الصحيفة. Thanks to Google, right?
لا استغفر جوجل.
الصحف المطبوعة يعني. Now let us move to the other one, the last paragraph. We have the word huge. You know what's meant by huge?
ضخم.
Yes. Now, what is meant by infinite?
لا نهائي.
محدود.
Yes, exactly. And what else? All the other words are so easy. So now let us sum it up. خلينا نختصرها ونلخصها. So the first paragraph speaks about what?
Communication.
Speaks about how people communicate. تمام? So if we can give a title for this paragraph, إذا ممكن نعطي عنوان لهذا الباراجراف نسميه how people communicate or how humans communicate, how we communicate. The second one, what is the theme?
How animal communicate?
About feeling.
Let us read it again and check it. خلينا نقرأ مرة أخرى حتى نشوف. Animals have ways of exchanging information too. Bees dance and tell other bees where to find food. Elephants make sounds that humans can't hear. Whales sing songs. Monkeys use their faces to show anger and love. But this is nothing compared to what people can do. We have language, about 6,000 languages, in fact. We can write poetry, tell jokes, make promises, explain, persuade, tell the truth, or tell lies. And we have a sense of past and future, not just present. So here in this paragraph, we see that it speaks about how certain animals communicate with each other and how we, the human beings, communicate with each other. So we may say, من الممكن أن نقول This paragraph speaks about what? بتتحدث عن ايش؟
animal communicate.
It does not only speaks about how animals communicate, it also speaks about how we, the humans, communicate.
Differences between animals and the humans' communication.
Yes, exactly. So the idea of this paragraph is the differences between people and animals in communication. So this paragraph, the second one, I think, the third one, the
Second one.
it speaks about the differences between people and animals. In the next quizzes and exams بالامتحانات القادمة، ما هذا الامتحان، الامتحانات اللي بعده، ممكن أجيب لكم قطعة وعندكم خيارات تختارون تايتل لهاي القطعة، تمام؟ So be prepared. حضروا نفسكم. ما هذا الامتحان، الامتحانات القادمة بعدين إن شاء الله. So the third one, what is the theme of the third paragraph؟ ما هو موضوع الفقرة الثالثة؟
Development of communicate.
Development of communication, maybe.
History.
Or, yes, history of communication. History of communication. And what about the last one? ماذا عن آخر قطعة؟
Communication influence on humans.
Okay.
Or their life.
Communication influence on human beings, for example. Or you can also say that it speaks about the communication nowadays, I mean, during the present time. بالوقت الحاضر التواصل اللي هو موجود حاليا بهذا الوقت. So it speaks about the communication today. Okay, so the third paragraph speaks about different ideas concerning the history of communication. Let us read it. خلينا نقرأ الفقرة الثالثة اللي تحكي على اللي تذكر عدة يعني شغلات، عدة مراحل بتاريخ الcommunication. Communication technologies were very important in the development of all the great ancient societies. Around 2900 BC, paper and hieroglyphics transformed Egyptian life. The ancient Greeks loved the spoken word. They were very good at public speaking, drama, and philosophy. The Romans developed a unique system of government that depended on the Roman alphabet. In the 14th century, the printing press helped develop new ways of thinking across Europe. Okay, so the first point, النقطة الأولى, it speaks about the Egyptian civilization, right? Right?
Yes.
The second one speaks about the ancient Greeks.
Greek. Greek.
So it speaks about Greece. Greece اللي هي اليونان. Greek يوناني. Greece, G-R-E-E-C-E. The third one, النقطة الثالثة, it speaks about
Romans.
About the Romans, Romanin. Or we can say it speaks about Rome, Roma, right?
Yes.
The last one speaks about
14th century.
Yes, so it speaks about the 14th century Europe, because it speaks about Europe. The 14th century Europe. Okay, so we have 1, Egypt, 2, Greece, 4, Rome, and 5, 14th century Europe. Okay, so we have these 4 pictures. عندنا هاي الصور الأربعة. Each picture represents one point concerning the history of communication. كل صورة تمثل نقطة من النقاط المذكورة عن تاريخ التواصل البشري. So if we take the first picture, picture A, so it speaks about what? Or it represents, what does picture A represent?
Roman?
Greeks.
Who says Rome?
Ani.
Okay, let us read what the point speaks about the Romans. It says,
Sir.
the Romans developed a unique system of government
Sir.
that depended on the Roman alphabet. Yes?
Sorry to interrupt, but it's way too far. If you just adjust it and zoom on it.
Okay, now I'm reading it for you.
Okay.
I'm reading it for you. أنا هسه أقرأها لكم.
But I can't
So
read
the
it with
point
you.
about, you can listen to me.
Okay.
No.
The point about the Romans, it says, the Romans developed a unique system of government that depended on the Roman alphabet. The point about Greece, it says, النقطة اللي عن اليونان, it says, the ancient Greeks loved the spoken word. They were very good at public speaking, drama, and philosophy. So the first picture, it represents the النقطة الأولى تمثل إيش؟ It represents Rome. No, it represents Rome because this picture refers to the system of government for Rome. I don't know if you have seen such pictures before. ما أعرف إذا شايفينها كالصورة سابقا. But this represents the Greek. Let us say the Greek law. Now the second picture. What does the second picture represent? ايش تمثل
The Greeks. Ancient Greeks.
Yes, so picture B represents Greece. Exactly. So A, Rome, B, Greece. Now picture C, what does picture C represent?
In the 14th century, of a printing press helped develop new ways of thinking across Europe.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So picture C represents the 14th century Europe. Picture C represents the 14th century Europe. And the last one, of course, it represents
Egyptian around hieroglyphics.
Yes, it represents Egypt. So let us see it. Egypt, 14th century Europe, Greece, and Rome. So let us move back to this lesson. عندنا الدرس اللي قبله ببعض الأسئلة من المفترض عن الموضوع.
أستاذ.
Yes.
بس على مود الامتحان على لو نأجله إلى غير يوم لأن أكثر الطلاب هسه عندهم خلل بالإيميل مالتهم لازم يراجعون شابط ضمان الجودة.
ايه والله عالوان يكون الأربعاء مثل ما قلت الدكتور.
لكن مثلا ليش من البداية كنتم تقولون ممكن we are ready for today.
هسه بلغوني إنه إيميلاتهم تم إيقافها.
Okay, so it will be on Wednesday.
Wednesday ساعة 5.
Wednesday at 5 p.m.
إن شاء الله.
تمام علم؟
تمام علم.
Okay. So I want you as a homework كواجب بيتي try to write about حاولوا تكتبون من عندكم يعني you can depend on yourselves or you can use the internet and check. I want you to write about different ways of communication, different ways of human communication, okay? So your homework عندكم الواجبكم is to write about different ways of a human communication. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, you don't have the book, so maybe I cannot ask you these questions. So we will review these questions in the next lecture, inshallah. هنشوف هاي الأسئلة بالمحاضرة القادمة إن شاء الله. Now, concerning the quiz or the exam, do you have any question? عندكم سؤال بالنسبة للامتحان؟
Like what, doctor?
I don't know if you have any question, if there's something that's...
بالنسبة دكتور المادة الامتحان راح تكون بكل الملازم اللي أخذناها الأزمنة وملزمة how to write a letter an email والتمارين اللي أخذناها بالactivity book.
بالضبط, yes, exactly. So all of the 3 tenses الأزمنة الثلاثة and how to write a letter. وأيضا ال WH questions هو ما كان داخل بس بما أنه راح يصير اليوم الأربعاء فراح يدخل وأنزل لكم الملف إن شاء الله اليوم. Okay?
Okay.
So the present simple tense, the present continuous tense, the present perfect tense, and WH questions, in addition to how to write a letter. Of course, in addition to the exercises that we studied and the exercise that we did during the previous days, أيضا بالإضافة طبعا للتمارين اللي حليناها in your workbook. Okay, so now do you have any other question? عندكم سؤال آخر بالنسبة للامتحان؟
No. Thank you.
Teacher, my question not about the quiz, about the question you give us.
About what?
The question you give us.
Which question?
How people like شو اسمه?
Yeah, communicate.
Communicate. How did we send it to you?
Okay, how do you send it to me?
Yes.
I will post
PDF.
Okay, no, as you like. I will post. I will announce a homework. I will announce an assignment for you in your Google Classroom. So you can submit your homework to that assignment. راح انزل لكم واجب دراسي على Google Classroom وتقدرون تنزلون الواجبات مالكم as you like. If you want to upload it as a PDF file, it will be better. يعني راح يكون أفضل إذا يكون PDF file. If you want to upload it as a Microsoft Word file, maybe it's okay. And if you want to upload it as a picture, also it is accepted. Okay, so you have to write about other ways of humans communication. Next lecture inshallah we will answer these questions. راح نحل هاي الأسئلة البسيطة. And maybe we will move to another subject. ممكن راح نقرأ موضوع آخر، ندرس موضوع آخر. إذا راح يكون عندنا موضوع جديد راح أبلغكم إن شاء الله، راح أنزل لكم ملف إذا كان أكو موضوع جديد. So that's it for today. So do you have any other question? Do you have any other
No.
question?
No.
Okay.
دكتور ممكن يجينا سؤال نكتب informal letter يعني مثل هالقطعة اللي قريناها؟
أجيب لكم سؤال تكتبون رسالة؟ لا. ولكن أشياء عن الرسالة ممكن. رسالة بها نقط تكتبون ممكن. So it depends. ممكن ما تجي أيضا. So it depends. Okay? So your exam will be on Wednesday, right? امتحانكم راح يكون يوم الأربعاء إن شاء الله at 5 p.m. Thank you for joining this lesson and have a nice day ahead. See you next time. Bye-bye.